Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video I am going to explain about how to create array in Java. So what is an array in Java? Array is a variable where we can store collection of similar type of data. In Java, array is an object where we can store a collection of data, but it will support only a similar kind of data, and it is a type of data structure where we can store and we can retrieve and we can organize the data in the array memory. And also very important thing is in Java array, it is a fixed set of elements in, we can only store fixed set of elements. So once you create array, the array size is fixed, we cannot change the array size. And one more thing, array in Java is index based, and where each and every value is stored based on the index. It starts from the 0th index, the first value located in 0th index, and followed by the remaining values will be stored. And it is a continuous memory allocation inside the array object. And if you know the index, we can access the values. Now if you look at the memory allocation, array variable itself an object, which inside it contains the memory allocation, and the variable is actually referring to the base array, and using the index we can access every element. So now let's see how we can create a program using Eclipse IDE. So now the Eclipse IDE is ready. So here I am going to create a project, file, new Java project. Here I am going to name it as array demo application. So then we have to click finish. Now here we can cancel this, don't create. So now the project is ready. In the left side package explorer, the project is created. Now we can add a new Java program. Right click, new. You have to add a new Java class. Select class. So here I am going to name it as a example class. Click finish. So now we are getting the code here. So let's maximize it. Now to execute the program, we must provide a main function. So for that we have to add a main function. So just we have to type main, then press control space, then you can select the main function, automatically generated. Inside, now let's see how we can create a array. So to create array, we have to use a data type. So array in Java supports only similar type of data. So you can create based on the data type, we can create integer array. For example, we can create integer array, or we can create a float array, or we can create a double array. If you want to store a floating point numbers, we can create a double array. Sometimes you want to create a string array, we can use a string data type, that is a string object. You can create a string array. So when you create an integer array, you cannot store a float value, that you have to understand. Similarly, if you create a string array, you can only store a string data, you cannot store integer data. Okay, so now let's see how we can create an integer array. For example, if you want to store 5 numbers in an array, now let's see how we can create. So first you have to mention the data type for creating an array. Then we can provide an array variable name, then square bracket to represent it is an array variable, then followed by new operator. Then here we have to specify the type, int, then square bracket. Inside we have to specify the size of the array. So the size of the array you have to put it here in the right side, not in the left side, so that you have to understand. Okay, so once you create this array, so this array is a empty array, there is no values in it. Okay. After creating empty array, if you want to assign some values, we have to access the array variable, and using index we can access the array location, memory location. And for example, if you want to store values for first index, what you can do is you can use a my array of 0 is equal to some value, for example 45. Similarly, I can store 5 elements. So simply I'll just copy this code and you can place it here. And after storing the first array, first location, we can store the second location, the next data, and third location another data 60, and in the fourth location we can store 100. Into fourth index we can store 34, another data. So this is how we can store data to this array. There is a one important property called length. Every array that you are creating, you will be getting a variable called length, and this length variable is used to access the total size of the array. This length variable is automatically available for every array that you are creating. For example, if you want to know the size of the array, just you have to add a print statement, system.out.print. Inside you can display the my array dot length. So the length is a attribute, or we can say that variable. For every array that you are creating, we will be getting that variable. So this length will be automatically initialized based on the size of the array. The size of the array is actually we have given here 5, right? So this 5, the size of the array will be stored in this length variable. Now look at the output. You can see the size of the array is 5. Now let's see how we can display the array elements. For that we have to use a for loop. Int I is equal to 0, I less than my array dot length I plus plus. Inside we can print the array elements using system.out.println, and we have to use a my array. To access every value, what we have to do is we have to pass the index. So when I is equal to 0, we can access 45. When I is equal to 1, we can access 52. When I is equal to 2, we can access 60. When I is equal to 3, we can access 100. When I is equal to 4, we can access 34. So when I iterates, okay, we have to access every value. So we have to pass the I as an index inside the my array square bracket. So when I replace the value, the corresponding value we can access. So now let's see, check the output again. So here look at the output. We are getting 45, 52, 60 and 100, 34, whatever we are assigned in the program as a fixed values, statically assigned. Okay, sometimes you want to assign values by getting the input. If you want to take input in Java, taking input, we have to use a scanner class. So scanner class is the simplest way to take input from user in Java. There are so many other kind of classes are available. In this video, we will discuss about scanner class, how to take input and how to store the data in an array. So to not to use the scanner class, first we have to import java.util package. So this is a package we have to use, we have to include in our program so that we can use the scanner class functionality. So how to use it? Import statement, then java.util.scanner. So this will include the scanner class to our program. Then before creating the array, we can place one statement. Here we have to create a variable for the scanner class. So to create a variable, you have to use a scanner class. Then you have to create a variable. For example, I am creating a variable sc is equal to new scanner. Inside we can pass system.in. So system.in is used to, it represents the standard input. So whatever you type in keyboard we can access, it will scan, this object will scan and we can store it. So now instead of assigning in the code the values, instead of assigning in the code, we can ask the user to enter the values. Okay, for example like this, system.out.println. Inside we can ask the user enter the numbers. So now after asking enter the numbers, now I can write a for loop. I want to initialize every value, right? So to access every values, I need to run a for loop till the end of the array. End of the array we can access using a length. So using how we are printing, the same way we can able to access every values. So for that, introduce a for loop, one more for loop, I less than my array dot length I plus plus. So inside we can store each and every data. So to store each and every data, first you have to access a array variable, then inside you have to assign a index, take the index I is equal to. So in scanner class there are so many functions. If you want to access the integer data, you can use a next int, and if you want to access floating point data, you have to use a next float. So similarly, there are so many kind of function is there. You can use a next double for accessing a double data. So in this example, since we are creating a integer array, we have to use a sc dot the scanner object dot next int. So once you use a next int, we can scan the integer data and we can store it in the array. After storing the array, here I am displaying it. So now let's check the output. Now see the output. It is asking enter the numbers. Now we have to give the number one by one, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I am giving 5 numbers. So when I press enter, the numbers, actually we can see the numbers whatever stored in the array, we are able to see through this print function. So this is about how we can store array by getting a user input using a scanner class. Similarly, we can also store a floating point values. So for floating point values, we can use a float array or double array. The only thing, you have to change the array variable type. For example, I am going to use a double. So if I use a double array type, we can only store double value. And here, so when you are taking input, just you have to modify to double. Just you have to modify to double. So now if you run the program, so now I am giving some data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now see the data format, how it is storing. It is storing based on the double format with the decimal point 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. So here also we can give floating point values also. For example, if I run again, so I can give 1.4, 2.5, 0.5, 0.78, 0.78. Okay, so 5 numbers we have to give. Next one 4. See the output, it is taking 1.4, 2.4, 5, 0.5, 0.78, and finally we are giving 4, and it is taking as a 4.0. Okay, so based on the array type, we have to provide a value. Here, since it is a double array, we have to must provide a value using a scanner object dot next double. Okay, so this is about creating a the floating point array. Similarly, we can also create in string array. If you want to create a string array, so what we can do is, first thing is you have to go for a string object type. So strings in Java, string is a object which is a type of S is capital letter. It is not a data type, it is an object. So what you have to do is, for example, just I will remove this. For example, you want to store 5 names, textual data, 5 names you want to store. Okay, so what you can do is, you can create a string array names equal to new string. Inside you can give the 5 number of names you want to store. So this is about string array, creating a string array. String names square bracket equal to new string of the number of string you want to create. So here you have to notice, this is not a data type, it is a string object. The first letter should be capital letter. So now we can ask the user to enter 5 names. So now in for loop, since we have changed the array variable to names, so here wherever my array comes, we have to change it to names. And here also my array is coming, so you have to change it to names. And here also you have to modify to names. And this place also we have to modify to names. So now here you can see there is a red color line in Eclipse. Eclipse automatically compiles and it will show the error. If there is any error, it will show red color line. So here it is showing that this line is there is a error, and if you see that the error is saying cannot convert from double to string. So it is telling that we are trying to assign a double value to a string array. It is not permitted since Java arrays are fixed, similar kind of data. It will support similar kind of data. Here, since we have created a string array, we can only provide a string value to each and every index. So for that, in scanner class, there is one more function called next function. We can use a next function. It is used to read a particular string from the user. If you want to read a string, you can provide a next function. And this next function takes only one word. Only one word it will read. So that next function we can provide here. So just you have to remove that and you have to use next function. So now let's see, check the output. See, we are getting the output, enter five names. So now I'm going to give 5 names, for example Arul. Then the next name is, we can also give like this, Vmax, David, John, Raj. Okay, 5 names I'm giving. So now we can see that the 5 names are actually stored in the array and it is actually retrieved through this for loop. We are able to access every name. So this way we can store a collection of strings. It means we can create a string array and we can store values in the string array. That's all about creating an array in Java. Thank you.